Girivaradari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari. Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari. Yachodanandana Brajajanaranjana. Yachodanandana Brajajanaranjana. Yamunatira Vanacharina. Yamunatira Vanacharina. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari. Yachodanandana Brajajanaranjana. Yamunatira Vanacharina. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajagacharya Stotra Chadashi Srimad Abhay Charanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 9th Canto, Chapter 18. King Yayati regains his youth. Text from 41 to 43. So 41, 42 has no purport. I will read it, then we will chant together 43. Text 41. Durvasuschodita pitra druhyuschanuscha bharata pratyachakyur dharmagnya hyanitya nityapadaya. O Maharaj Parikshit, Yayati similarly requested his sons Durvasu, Dhruyo and Anu to exchange their youth for his old age. But because they were unaware of religious principles, they thought that their flickering youth was eternal, and therefore they refused to carry out their father's order. Text 42. Aprichat Dhanayam Puram Vayasonam Gunadikam Natvam Agraja Vatsa Mam Pratyakyatum Argasi. King Ayati then requested Puru, who was younger than his three brothers but more qualified. My dear son, do not be disobedient like your elder brothers, for that is not your duty. So please repeat text 43. Shri Puru Vacham Kaha No Loke Manushya Indra Pituhu Atmakritaha Puman Pratikarthum Kshamaha Yasya Prasadhat Vindate Param. Shri Puru Vacham Konuloke Manusyendra Pitur Atmakritak Puman Pratikartham Kshamo Yasya Prasadat Vintate Param. Shri Purvacha Konaloke Manusyendra Pituratma Krita Puman Pratikartham Kshamo Yasya Prasadat Vintate Param. Shri Purvacha Konaloke Manusyendra Pituratmakrita Puman Pratikartham Kshamo Yasya Prasadat Vintate Param. Shri Purvacha Konaloke Manusyendra Pituratmakrita Puman Pratikartham Kshamo Yasya Prasadat Vintate Param. Shri Purvacha Konaloke Manusyendra Pitur Atmakrita Puman Pratikartham Kshamo Yasya Mataji. Chandra Prasadat Vintate Param. Shri Puruvacha Anuloke Manusyendra Hatakrita Puman Pratikartham Kshamo Yasya Sadat Vintate Param. Shri Puruvacha Puru said, Kaha, what? No, indeed. Loke, in this world. Manusya Indra, O your majesty, best of human beings. Pituhu, the father. Atmakritaha, who has given this body. Puman, a person. Pratikartum, to repay. Kshamaha, Kshamaha is able. Yasya, of whom? Prasadat, by the mercy. Vindate, one enjoys. Param, superior life. Translation and prepared by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Translation. Puru replied, O Your Majesty, who in this world can repay his debt to his father? By the mercy of one's father, one gets the human form of life, which can enable one to become an associate of the Supreme Lord. Purport. The Father gives the seed of the body, and this seed gradually grows and develops until one ultimately attains a developed human body with consciousness higher than that of the animals. In the human body, one can be elevated to the higher planets. And furthermore, if one cultivates Krishna consciousness, one can return home back to Godhead. This important human body is obtained by the grace of the Father, and therefore everyone is indebted to his Father. Of course, in other lives, one also gets a father and mother. Even cats and dogs have father and mothers. But in the human form of life, the father and mother can award their son the greatest benediction by teaching him to become a devotee. When one becomes a devotee, he achieves the greatest benediction because he completely averts the repetition of birth and death. Therefore, the father who trains his child in Krishna consciousness is the most benevolent father in this world. It is said, Janme Janme Sape Pitha Mata Paya Krishna Guru Nai Mile Bhaja Hari. Everyone gets a father and mother, but if one gets the benediction of Krishna and Guru, he can conquer material nature and return home back to Godhead. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikasa Swami Namine. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Parshatya Deshitarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So here we continue to hear about King Yayati. So we know that because of Sukracharya's curse, King Yayati now suddenly become old, and then he wants to enjoy with his wife, and he approached already his first son, Edo, and he to exchange the youth for old age, and he denied, and then today we read that other three sons also, Durvasu, Duryu, Anu, they also refused it. And then finally he approached the youngest one, Puru, and now this verse 43, we hear that Puru's reply. So he says that, O Your Majesty, who in this world can repay his debt to his father? By the mercy of one's father, one gets the human form of life, which can enable one to become an associate of the Supreme Lord. So, as the previous verse says, that he is the one most qualified of sons of this King Ayati. So he obeyed the order of his father, and he was, ready to accept. And from this verse itself, we can see that the way he replied to him, he accepted. And the future verse, we see that he accept the, he fulfills the desire of his father. He ready to accept the old age and give his youth to his father. So, and yesterday we heard that how much is important to obey the seniors, the father, elder brother, or a guru, or anyone is, we have to obey. That is the, way of life. That's how you learn things, how to live, what is the goal of life, everything. In the Vedic culture, that is very much is followed. And therefore still people have this, even though now the whole society is so much modernized and so many things are changing upside down, and people don't follow many things. But still, especially when, like me, the people who wear saffron, when they go out for book distribution or preaching, and many times people are so inquisitive, they ask so many questions. One of the main questions they ask, what about your parents? Who takes care of them? The main thing, whether first they ask, they are doubtful because we wear saffron. Are you married or not? First they will ask. If you say no, immediately. First thing, what about your family? What about your parents? That's first thing they ask many times. And then people think that we are not responsible. We just, very irresponsible people. We didn't care for parents. And this is how they look at you. This is how they approach you also. And then we understand, because that was the culture, that was the system, that because in the Vedic culture, every parent, they were, guiding in good path the children, and the children also fell to obey the orders of seniors, and then because they understand that from them we learn a lot of things, and so we are adapted to them, so we have to follow the order. But today in the modern society, they simply give the order, but they don't know if like, for example, son is doing some nonsense, smoking, drinking, like today in the modern society, most of the youth are, habituated for these kind of things. And when they, engage in such a nonsense activity, and the parents say, don't do it. And when they ask, why? What is the problem? Everyone is doing, And the parents don't know how to explain what is dharma, what should not do, what should do, and why should not do this. And they have no idea. Or sometimes they just, by force, they push them to come to temple, offer pranam, do puja, these, that, so many different things. And when the children, they ask, why I should do that, then they don't know how to explain it. Many parents have no idea why to go to temple. I'm good man. I'm earning money. I'm working hard. I'm managing my life. Why I should go to temple? And then parents completely bewildered because they themselves, they don't know. They themselves don't learn. So this is the problem. Otherwise, the idea is there. The idea is, in every society, especially this human life is very rare. like in Tamil, there is saying, Aridu, Aridu, Manidarai, Peratal Aridu. Means it says like poetically, very nicely, is rare, is very rare, and to obtain the human form of life is very rare. Manusha Janma Durlabha. It's very rare. Everyone says, everybody knows it, but they don't know why. In the school, every teacher is teaching to the student. Go and ask any teacher in the school why it is rare. I don't think any teacher, they know this. My teacher never taught me. I know also this saying, but I never learned why it is rare. After so many years, when I read Prabhupada books, I learned from Prabhupada books. From devotees, I learned why the human form of life is very rare. So similarly, there are many, many things like Mata, Pita, Guru, Devam. This, everybody quotes. Same thing. When they see brahmachari, immediately the next thing. Oh, you see, Mata, Pita, Guru, Devam. It is said, you should follow first your Mata, Pita. That idea is there in the society. Everywhere is very strongly still exists. But why to follow? That they don't know. Not just blindly follow whatever the parents say. Today, most of the parents, unfortunately, as I said before, they themselves don't know what is right, what is wrong. And most of the parents, they misguide the children. They misguide the children. And we have in ISKCON many, many devotees, when they share their experience, when they're, how they come to Krishna consciousness, if you see that many devotees, they tell that the parents, they were ready to accept them as a drunkard, as a smokers, a woman hunters. You be in the society like that, that is normal life. That is okay. That, you can be like that because most of the society is doing like that. So you can be like that. But don't go to ashram, don't go to temple, don't become a, sadhu. Then my prestige is going down. It's not prestigious. Everyone is criticizing. So this is the situation, most of the parents. When I started associate with devotees, I stopped meat eating, and then later I more associated. Then I understand that it's not only me, that my family also should follow. So I requested my mother, my sisters, everyone were there, and I spoke to them, and I tried to explain whatever I can. And then first thing, my mother replied, if you want, you do whatever you want in your life. Don't ask us to change anything. That was my mother's reply. She did not want. And she was ready to accept as a meat eater, but not, follow something good, as a spiritual follower. She doesn't want to accept me like that. And my father kept quiet. Father didn't say yes or no. He was completely. So this kind of parents are there today mostly. So for that people, when they read this purport, they will be misguided. Because, here very strictly says, one should follow the orders of Father, because he gives the seed, he is having taken great responsibility to grow up and educate you. And yes, all these things are there. But the Father should follow also. When they say the Mata, Pita, Guru, Devam, then there is, after Father, Pita, there is also, Guru is there. If he follows the Guru, because Guru follows the Lord's instruction, then if Father follows the Guru's instruction, then Mother follows automatically the Father's instruction. Then you follow them, then is no problem. The line is very clear. Everything is linked. But Father have no guru and he doesn't know what is guru at all, and then you follow that father blindly, oh, I should follow, but you will also, as Prabhupada said, that blind leading blind people. So you just fell in the dark well. So that is the problem today. In this human form of life as in the purpose says, is very rarely achieved and is very, very important, because in this human form of life, one can ask Atato Brahma Jigyasa, what is Brahman? The question can raise in this human form of life, because in the human form, the capacity is there. By Lord's mercy, after so many different species, we try to enjoy this material world, and then, now we got this great opportunity, this human form of life. So we have this capacity to inquire it. What is who we are, what is God, what is karma, what is next life. All these different questions we could ask and get the answers. Answers are there. We should find the proper guru, and then we should learn all these things. That is the responsibility. Therefore, this human form is very rare. So, and also, we should understand today that when people ask this, what about your parents? Why don't you take care of them and all these things? Yes, that is right what you say, but same time you should see also the father, mother, how you get, who gives your father, mother? The Lord. The father, mother, they give you this material body, and they, give some food, and they grow you up, and then they give you some education. For that, if you feel that you are indebted to them and you have to follow them, and how much you should follow the person who gives your father, mother. And he is much bigger, no? So that they don't understand. When you say that, they don't want to accept that. So Krishna is very clearly says, Sarva Yonisha Kaunteya Murtaya Sambhavanteya Tasham Brahma Mahadjonir Aham Bija Pratapita. Real father is Krishna. Unless our father understands that, then, no meaning of following this father who gives this body. Because even, there are so many couples, especially today in this modern age, there are so many men and women, they get married and they, have their sexual intercourse, and then all of them become parent. They all don't get the children, especially now in modern days. There's so many of them without children. They just struggle, and they try this way, that way. Go to different hospitals, different temples, different puja. They try to get, but they're not getting it. Many of them. So it's not that just men and women come together and then they can get the son. Unless Krishna sanctions it, unless Krishna, gives the benediction, you can't become even parent. You can't claim that, I am father. You don't become father unless Krishna, sanctions. So, we understand that Krishna is a real seed-giving father. So we should follow the instruction of Krishna. Krishna only giving you all this instruction. You should follow the seniors, the father, the elders, all this instruction. But same Krishna also saying, if you surrender unto me, then you don't have to follow all these other things. Sarvadharman parityaja mamekam sharanam raja. There are so many duties are there. Because we take so many things from different personalities, from parents, from in the society, from demigods, from rishis, learn many things, get many different things for our benefit. So we are all debted to them. So Krishna says we should follow them. But if they are in the line, otherwise we don't follow. As we heard yesterday that there are many incidents that, one can reject the seniors and still they will be good, like a Bali Maharaj rejected his spiritual master, but still he is a great personality. He is a great devotee. He is glorified for that. So one should not just blindly follow the father, mother, whatever they say. And also, one should not also, reject for no reason. If they give you some good guidance, and you should not also, disobey the orders of elders. So, the good father, in the Bhagavatam we see that, the perfect father, Rishabhadev, he instructed to his sons very nice instructions. And if you see that 5th canto, in the 5th chapter, right from the first verse, the Rishabhadev instruction to his sons, so all are wonderful instructions. Nayam deho degha bhajan riloke kastan kama argote vid pujamye. Tapo divyam putrakaye nasatvam shudaye yasma brahma saukyam tvanantam. He says that this deha, this human form of life especially, is not to act like animals. Is different from the animals. So we should act different from animals. Not that same like ahara, nidra, bhaya, maitanam, the 4 basic needs. Only just struggle for that and then somehow or other obtain these 4 things and then you be happy. Not like that. That is what he say. Kashan kama arhate vidbhujame. Even the stool-eating animal like a hogs, they also get all these things. They also having ahara, nidra, bhaya, maitunam. All 4 things they also get. And then what is the difference? So human life should be different from the animal life because this is more higher, is advanced. So what should do? He says, tapo divyam putrakayena sattvam. Voluntarily accept the difficulties, for the spiritual advancement. Tapo divya. Not just, like these politicians, they do sometimes fasting, sometimes, so many different tapasya they go through also. Prabhupada so many times is criticized. That is not really tapasya. Tapasya should be for the spiritual advancement. Like Prabhupada say, we fast also, Ekadasi day, and when the Vishnu Tattva, the Lord's appearance day, and Acharya's disappearance day, we also fast. But these are all for the advancement of our spiritual life. So once we follow this kind of tapasya, then we come to the, divine life, the spiritual life, then Brahma Saukhyam Tanantam, that the real happiness is unlimited, anantam. Unlimited happiness is there, is in the spiritual life. So, the foolish civilization, Prabhupada says, neglects to teach people how to come to the spiritual platform or how to practice bhakti. They don't care for this process. They don't teach. Many of them, they don't know themselves. So without Krishna consciousness, without engaging ourselves in tapasya, trying to control our senses and mind, and we are not better than the hogs and dogs. So therefore, today people don't know these things. Everyone is pushing very hard to work, to earn money and get some sense gratification. So their only aim, somehow or other, get some sense gratification, somehow enjoy the senses. So they don't know there is the much sublime, the higher life is there, the spiritual life, which is real happiness, the eternal happiness you can get. Not that flickering happiness like this. Ayati sons, in the previous verse, Prabhupada say, the translation say that they think this youth is, eternal. But this just goes so fast. As soon as you cross 40, 50, then slowly you see the body giving so many troubles, so many problems, so many health issues. And you suffer more. But when you are young, in teenage, when you are in 20s, then you think, oh, this is the life. This is how I'm going to live forever. But it's not the fact. No one lived like that. So people push very hard work, so much for sense gratification only. They don't know the alternative way of life. Everyone is just going to school, college, and get a degree, and then work hard and earn money, and then enjoy as much as possible sense gratification, and then again, same thing you teach to your son. So Prahlad says that this is puna puna charvita charvidanam, the chewing the chewed. Already so many times is chewed, and there is nothing. It's only, you see this sugarcane juice. The fellow, he puts the sugarcane in the machine and he squeezes out the juice and then takes out the same sugarcane. Now already, the sugarcane like this, it was round, now it become completely flat, but still he doesn't want to throw it. And he folds it in two. Then again he puts it in the same machine. And still there are few drops of the juice. That also comes out. Then again, still he folds it again into four. And then again pushes the same. Then other side is the sugar can become a powder. And then he throws it. Then you see that the next to that there are some cows are there. They fight to eat that. But what is there? In that, nothing is there. There's not even a single drop of juice. Already squeezed out everything. So this is what people are trying to enjoy. It's already that even much greatest people, Hiranyakashipu, Ravana, all these are people, you can't even compare today. All these Bill Gates and nothing in front of them, all the richest people, friend of Hiranyakashipu, friend of Ravana, they're nothing. They're just like some small fly. And those people tried their sense gratification. They could not succeed in that. No one was happy. Hiranyakashipu, how much? He could control all three worlds, but he could not control one small boy, his own son. He was giving him trouble. He doesn't understand. He was inquiring, how do you get this power? And Prahlad says, same source. Power comes from for everyone, from the Supreme Lord. So, this is the problem. Today is most of the parents are like a Hiranyakashipu. They want to learn their children all the way, how somehow, hook or crook, get the money and enjoy our senses. That is the goal of life. So most of the parents are misleading the society, the children. So better children, they, don't follow this kind of parents, of course, they should, not that reject that parents and then do whatever the nonsense what they want. Not like that. They should get some good instruction from Krishna conscious persons, from devotees, from good guidance. If they get, then they will be benefited. So like Rishabhadev is giving very good instruction to his sons, and all these acharyas in the Sampradaya, in our Sampradaya and other Vaishnava Sampradaya, we see they are so compassionate, they are so well-wishing for the conditioned souls, even though they don't have to do that, but still they take so much struggle, they so much responsibility for the conditioned souls, and they, do so much endeavor and give all the guidance, all the encouragement to follow the spiritual line. Like Srila Prabhupada went all the way in the old age to America and then struggled there for 1 year. Nobody was there, and then, slowly build up, and then he did not care for his health. He did not care for his old age. He did not care for, his own happiness. He just sacrificed everything for the benefit of the conditioned souls. So he is the real father. He is the real perfect father. And all the sincere followers of Srila Prabhupada, they are the real fathers. So we have a great opportunity to follow them, and we are somehow Guru and Krishna's mercy, as Prabhupada quoting in this purport, that Guru and Krishna, if comes in your life, then you are really fortunate. So we all have this benediction. We all got this benediction. We are all so fortunate to come in touch with Srila Prabhupada. And really, if we take shelter of Srila Prabhupada and follow the footsteps of Prabhupada and his sincere followers, and we can make this human form of life is a perfect life. Means we can please Srila Prabhupada and our Guru and Krishna ultimately, then our life is perfect. Hare Krishna. I stop here. Is there any question or comment?
In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is a very interesting purport by Srila Prabhupada, which is very much in line with what you spoke today. The situation is that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to take sannyas, and the message was conveyed to Sachimata that he's going to take sannyas. So it was a mixed feeling for Sachimata that dear son is going to leave me. So I just read a short thing, it's very interesting. So Srila Prabhupada, the shloka goes like this. Sachimata, she says, it will be a great happiness for me if Nimai stays here. But at the same time, if someone blames him, it will be my great unhappiness. Srila Prabhupada's purport. It is a great happiness for a mother if her son does not leave home to search out Krishna, but remains with her. At the same time, if a son does not search after Krishna, but simply remains at home, he is certainly blamed by experienced saintly persons. Such blame certainly causes great unhappiness for a mother. If a real mother wants her son to progress spiritually, she had better allow him to go out searching for Krishna. The mother naturally desires the welfare of the son. If a mother does not allow her son to search for Krishna, she is called Ma, which indicates Maya. By allowing her son to go as a sannyasi and search for Krishna, Sachimata instructs all mothers of the world. She indicates that all sons should become real devotees of Krishna and should not stay at home under the care of an affectionate mother. That's all. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. It's very nice. It's very much inspiring. Hare Krishna. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.